P90X, P90X is the gateway to P90X2.
Right. Okay, so give us a snapshot, the general construction of the program, phases. You mentioned, talk about 5 days a week versus 6, and what sort of equipment you need. Just give us an overall.
Well, it's 90 days, just like with P90X, but like with P90X, you can keep going. I mean, you can keep developing through P90X2. I still do. I've been doing P90X2 routines for months and months and months, and I really enjoy it. There's a foundation phase, which is kind of critical because you're adding stability balls and medicine balls and balance, and you get your 2 hands on a medicine ball and 2 feet on a medicine ball. It's going to take some time for all that connective tissue.
Don't do this workout on a hill.
Yeah, really hard. Or you just roll yourself right down into the river. But so it's a learning phase, really, more than anything else. And then the second phase is the strength phase, which is going to feel a lot like P90X. There'll be some things that will be similar, but there will also be new things that will blow your mind. And the last phase, which is, we'll talk about PAP, the complexes in a second with Marcus, but that's the performance stage. That's when, you are really pushing the envelope, when you are doing things physically that you probably couldn't do in the first month, because you need that foundation, you need that strength phase, and when you finally get to the performance phase, that's when you really turn it on. And, ironically, that's when your body starts to look like an athlete. I mean, your delts and your arms and your glutes and it's crazy how people change. Yeah. And their focus is not how much weight am I going to lose this week, but how can I get better? How can I do an extra push-up? How can I do another one of those crazy circle pull-ups that Tony wants me to do? And as a result of focusing on getting better, that's how your body changes in appearance.
Right. Now, how about 5 days a week? I mean, there was a lot of debate at the office about taking it down.
I was one of them. What?
Yeah.
But then I sat down with Marcus and I sat down with Isabel and you and all the research that we did, and we discovered that when you're turning up the volume like this, it's really about active recovery. It's about active rest. A lot of people don't know what that is. We give you a rest day with P90X, and the vast majority of people just, sleep till noon. You know what I mean? Go crazy with the burgers and the Coca-Cola. It's not true, but we still want you to have that rest day. But on that other day, go for a hike, go for a walk. You know what I mean? Maybe get on your bike. Take advantage of all that work you had done the first 5 days, and go outside and enjoy the world.
Yeah, I think I draw the comparison to the results in recovery formula, right? I mean, it tastes so good, you want to have it every single day. Have it with a meal. Can I get another results in recovery? You got to earn that. Right. Same thing with that extra day off.
Right.
You got to work hard those 5 days, and then when we say you make all your gains while you're at rest, well, you had to earn that rest. You had to do something. You had to break some muscle down in order for your body to need that day off and make that great recovery. But that's true. In fact, if there's anything between Isabel and I that we constantly debate, because I'm kind of like you, it's like, if I break the habit, I'll easily break the habit for a couple of weeks. So I want to work out every day. And she's like, no.
No, she says it like that.
She says it. No. I'm telling you, take this day off. I'm like, if I take this day off, I'm taking this month off. And she's like, well, then stretch. Get there, do the stretch. It's cuter when she says it.
Much cuter.
Yes. But it's true. I mean, world-class athletes rest, and they find a way to maintain their fitness habit and still rest. And that's what we're trying to incorporate in P90X2.
Well, all the science shows that change comes from the time when you're doing nothing, not when you're doing something. When you're actually doing whatever we're asking you to do with P90X2, you're breaking down muscle tissue. You're destroying the cells inside the muscle. And so you need an extra day with this program, the way it's set up, for them to repair. And repair requires, rest and making sure you're consuming the right foods, and of course we'll talk about the diet as well. And how
it's an easy sell, right? Go to people and say, hey, look, do this and we're going to destroy cells. It's just going to break you down. It's great. But just look at the results. So let's talk a little bit about equipment and again, the flexibility that we try to work into every program so that you don't have to have an entire gym full of balls in order to do the program.
Well, no. I don't know about this crowd.
They've been here
all dirty minds. He's the guy, by the way, who wanted to call it chest, back, and balls.
say if you're gonna go for it, you go for it.
You gotta go for it. But dude, they're gonna, no, they'll have fun with it. It'll be great. But yeah, right. We've got stability balls, which Kathy Smith introduced a long time ago, right? So a lot of folks here who are coaches and Beachbody devotees, they have them, but we add that dimension to it. And you need that. You need that instability. If you're sitting there and you're doing a push-up on a ball, there's so much more going on, and there's so much more change that comes so much more rapidly as a result of adding that component. Same thing with the medicine balls. We have weighted bars. We've added the foam roller, for that deep tissue myofascial release, in between, which is just an amazing, incredible tool to really help. You can go to a masseuse and maybe they'll work on the right part or they won't, but they won't give you enough pressure, or maybe they'll you're spending $200 for this thing where you might get what you want. But the great thing about the foam roller is that you get to work on this very specific spot that needs it for as long as it needs it. And when you do that, you're avoiding injuries and your performance level goes through the roof, and you're just able to keep bringing it, right, 5 days a week, really hard.
So we'll post all the stuff. If you wanted the full component, you want to make a commitment to P90X2, we'll post everything that you'll need. It'll obviously be available when the whole program is available, and we'll get to that later, but there's also an option with every move, like we always do, that if you're doing it with bands, if you don't have the pull-up bar, if you don't have all the balls with you, if you're traveling, whatever, you can still do the program, right?
Absolutely. If you look at a lot of the folks that were maybe not perfect candidates for P90X, who managed to do it anyway, they were able to succeed because of the modification of variations, right? And so typically you would see the extreme, you'd see the modified, and something in between. What we thought we would do this time is kind of take it to the next level. And we have one, of course there'll be me in the front, there'll be 3 in the back, and we've got the extreme version. We got somebody, maybe not going quite as intense, but then we have somebody who's modifying a lot and also showing people that if you're traveling and all you have is enough room in your suitcase for some bands, you can still do P90X2. I don't care where you are on this planet, you can still do it no matter what, because there's going to be a version for you to see right there on the screen.
So let's let me see, we give a little look.
Okay.
So we're going to run through a little peek at the programs.